Hey, for PremierGuitar.com, I'm Andy Ellis, and I'm here at the EarthQuaker Devices booth with Rockin' Austin on guitar and Jamie from EarthQuaker, and we're going to talk about some new pedals. Jamie, what do you got?
The first one's called Speaker Cranker. It's like an overdrive booster. The lower settings, it has just a little bit of grit, like an old, worn-out tube amp. When you crank it, it gets pretty dirty, but not a real high overgain. It's got a lot of clarity and peak sensitive or touch sensitive and everything. People look for out of that. But it works real well as like a booster in front of other overdrive pedals or slightly broken up amps to bring out mid-range and harmonics. Like that.
Cool. And what's the retail on that?
I will retail for $105.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're both least expensive pedal, but I think it's a real useful tool, I guess.
All right, what else you got?
The next one is called Bit Commander, which is a 4-octave guitar synth. Basically, it's real square wave distortion with a sub-octave, 1 octave down, 1 octave up, and a bass tone, which is also slightly squared off. It's made to emulate the sound of an old Rogue synthesizer, dawn of synth tones that kind of menacing a little bit. But it has a real cool sound. I mean, there's some other ideas similar to that out there. It's analog, monophonic, but it's got a really unique sound. The upper octave is like a transformer bass, like an old Octavia, so it's got a real swelling sound mixed with a real kind of gated sub and one down. So it ends up with a really, it's a really unique sound.
Let's get Austin to play some for us with that pedal. All right, man, that's nasty.
Yeah.
What else you got?
And then the last thing that's new for this NAMM is a digital delay and reverb. It's 1700 milliseconds. It's got a really thick reverb. It works as either on its own or both in parallel, just with the turning of the knobs. If you turn the delay time down, the reverb works on its own, and then the repeats act as a thickening and sort of decay control and an overall tone, nature of the reverb effect. And you can mix as much or as little as you want with the mix control. And the delay, I say 1700 milliseconds, and it does pretty much infinite repeats. It gradually decays into a warm wash, basically.
And retail on that?
That one will retail for $185.
Why don't we get Austin to play a little bit of that pedal and maybe take us out? But
Yep.
Before we do, where can people go if they want to hear more about the pedals?
EarthQuakerDevices.com.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
And Austin, go ahead and take us out with that pedal. I'm Andy Ellis for PremierGuitar.com.